Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do get started, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had an interesting series of events happening. Deku, he likes to believe that his home is safe, especially because he does intend to have his daughter live here in his property, on it. And he wants her to be safe while she is here. However, a gaggle of idiots decided to try and break into his house. They didn't know whose property this was. A place out in the Tokyo Hills that has a massive alarm system. It is made of a lot, and I do mean a lot of expensive materials, and required months of tracking and coordinating to try and figure everything out. I mean, for Christ's sake, they had a plan. They knew the two were here. But in all that time, they didn't do enough research. They found out after breaking into the property, this was Izuku Midoriya's house. And that meant quite a bit. Deku had to call a cleaning service after everything was said and done. And the only remaining survivor of the break-in team, they had quite a unpleasant experience. They saw the type of brutality Izuku Midoriya is capable of, and he made it well aware to them. He let them walk out of his house because he wants someone to tell the story of what happens when you break into his house. This is him being nice, because his daughter is going to live with him. His family is going to live with him. People know how he feels about family. And the man heard quite frankly that Deku would have force-fed him his own friend, which he fried in a pan of bacon grease, before he started interrogating him and asking questions. This was him being nice. And that, people have seen what happens when he is mean. And I do mean mean. But anyways, the cleaning service came by. Deku paid them quite a hefty fee for a rush job, and they made sure to scrub down everything they could in the areas that were designated as combat zones. And the guests, they came over. Now, Kami and her friends pulled up to the property. They were a little apprehensive knowing Muscular was here. But seeing that Deku is able to keep him on a bit of a leash, it does mean a bit. Deku did still seem agitated about what happened earlier today. And it is quite understandable, especially when you do look at the back window leading out to the pool and see a massive crack from something the size of your fist, which is still lodged in the damn window. So that certainly does not help. Now, Deku, he has spent a little bit of time with Yuki, and it has helped him somewhat de-stress from everything. Right now, Kimi brought some friends. She brought Momo. She brought Mina. She brought Ibara. And she even brought Ochako, as well as an unspecified passenger, Sayako Intelli. And Intelli, she did hear about everything that happened. Muscular, he has been hyping up Deku's abilities. And he did start talking a little bit about what happened earlier. But whenever Deku did give the man a quick glance, he quickly shrank away from the subject, expressing, jumping up, that he might head into town. That seems like the most appropriate thing to do. He'll follow up with everything going on with that guy. Yeah, that's what he'll do. Does he need anything when he's out, boss? I mean, information, anything specific, people related? He can report in a Night Eye. Or check in with, Midnight. That's fine. You go ahead and do that. Deku holding Yuki on his lap. And Rei does somewhat fuss about the baby. She is adorable. And Fumi does turn her head, sitting down and watching Deku. The way he does interact. Everyone else, however, they do have their eyes firmly locked on Deku, watching his actions. Firmly locked on Muscular, watching his actions with Deku's words. Him informing the man that that's all. Him nodding his head and going to quickly rush out the door. And Deku, he does go to turn, handing off his daughter to Yuki, and going to talk about it. Right, the others should be arriving soon. He does need to call and see what's going on. I mean, this whole thing, it's a little, Yeah, sounds like it. So, was it true about what happened earlier today? I'm quite curious myself. You caught this projectile. Yeah, I did. It's in my office. But don't go in my office. Okay. But what about your trophy room? Oh, I'm curious to see it too. I mean, I've heard you got quite a bit of stuff. I heard, well, is it true that you skinned someone? Tiger. Yeah. He was a little annoying. And that one is not too bad. You have Hawks' wings, right? I'm curious to see them. Them jumping up. Quickly going to make the way down the hall. And Kami does a turn looking at Yuki. Rei bring her hands up, expressing, she'll be fine. She is a mother too. She knows how to take care of children, especially ones this young. I mean, look at her. She's adorable. And that does make Kami smile. Right now, Deku, he does go to express. Right. I don't know. Logically speaking, Intelli does express. She does have the most experience out of all of us. In fact, I think Kami, this is the perfect time for you to ask any questions you might need answered. Anything involving motherly duties? Oh, maybe you're right. But, I mean, I think I've been doing well so far. Would it be a bother? No, not at all. In fact, it does make me feel a lot younger. Her face looking a little pained. And Deku, he does notice that she's holding his daughter, the daughter of the man who killed her sons, her husband. Yeah, Ray is nice. She's a nice, sweet lady. But even he can feel a little bit of that tension in his own shoulders. She wouldn't hurt a baby. At least that's what his mind is telling him. Though, at the same time, there's a lot of things that have happened in his life he wouldn't have expected. Kami, sadly, among them. And right now, that is where Deku, he does a turn, making his way towards the front door. And he does go to make a phone call, turning and going to Express. Right now, asking exactly where they're at, and they do go to respond, letting him know that they're on the way. Deku, he is a bit annoyed, though he does shoot a chat into the group text and let them know that they're all supposed to be here sooner rather than later. This is a bit of a big thing. And right now, he does a turn, trying to figure out what to do. And Intelli does go to stand there. Deku a little alarmed, since she moved quickly and quietly. Would you be willing to answer a question of mine? You were just waiting on that, weren't you? Deku's eye somewhat twitching. Her fixating on that, and going to look around. What are you detecting? Her staring at him for a second. Ah, I see. You're aggravated. A little bit, yes. You're still angry from this morning. Yes. Now, I can answer your questions, but maybe we should do this a little bit more privately. Questions? Question. As in one. Now, him going to turn. And when Mina does come running back out, she does get a turn, asking a bit about how she couldn't find it. Deku turning, asking Cynthia to please take them to the trophy room. He has some business to deal with Miss Intelli. Once that's done, will she leave? Her going to nod her head, expressing she could have a vehicle come by, but that may take time. She may not have thought this through. Going to Tokyo would be a bad option. For someone smart, you don't often look before you leap. I will give you that, Mr. Midoriya. Izuku, don't call me that. Aren't we like the same age? Give or take, yes. Them making their way over to his office. And he does get a turn. Right now, going to step into the room and go to lean against his desk. Her turning her head and staring at the Nomu, freezing and going to analyze it. And after a second, she does go to nod her head at the creature, expressing, so that feat was correct and real. Taxidermied? Yes. I see. The damage to its face didn't regenerate completely. I see. But from the reports, it lost limbs. They were put back on. I asked for a statue. I got a statue. Wouldn't this better serve in the trophy room? It might. Though I like it here. Him going to turn and go to lean on his desk, crossing his arms and expressing to her. Ask a question. Yes, well, abilities typically have names. No. Uh, I'm sorry? You want to know the name of one of my abilities. But most of my abilities are actually quite simple. Only three of them are really complex. I see. I know that you have some sort of sensory ability. I know that your dark tendrils, they're typically used for quite a wide range of activities. They stick to things, they allow for quick turns and maneuverability in wide area environments, areas that are good. They are quite durable and strong. And, well, Miss Intelli, I know what my abilities do. You have the smoke screen. The Does that do anything else? It obscures vision. It's not like a tear gas. Ah, I see. Hmm. But you've mentioned you don't go at full bore. 70% was the highest you've ever gone with that ability, correct? Is that the question? Yes. 70% isn't the highest I can go. I can use 100%. The problem is, I used 100% on rare occasions, and it will break my bones. My body can't handle the full might of that power. And the drawbacks are immense. One of my abilities, the drawbacks are very, very immense. Your battle with Endeavor did show that. Yes, it did. It has a 5-minute timer, isn't it? Is that correct? Something about the teleportation messes with your body. Either you're transferring matter so fast that you can't properly move, you can't handle the pressure, the exertion, but I don't understand that. You don't create some sort of gate, you don't shift in the light, you just blink and you're there. That's a different question. Darn. Are you just moving that fast? I said you only get the one question. I am willing to make a deal. No. For right now, I'd say I'm fine. Though your contribution to the family, the Yagi family, would be very good. Actually, there might be something you can actually help me out with. Oh? Yes, unfortunately. I'm designing a family compound. Perhaps you can look at it, coordinate with Mr. Nezu, and see the smartest home defense placement possible. Along with that, maybe add your voice to some design flaws you can see, point them out. You wish for my help designing a compound for your family? Yes. Consider it a small favor. And in return, maybe we can have a small lunch. I can answer some questions and see about that. Now you're just flirting. Nana does as say. And Toshi, he does go to express. Give the boy some credit. He's actually quite good at it. Oh, shut it, you two. Interesting bargain. I agree. Yes, I agree. Her fingers tapping rapidly, and Deku does at a point the door. And she does it a nod and begrudgingly walk out the room. Deku, thinking about what she might do. He'll probably have to call a car for her. Right. Do, do you have a moment to speak? Momo's stepping into the room. And Deku, he does gotta close his eyes and inhale. His phone gonna ding. And he does gotta look down and check it, opening the gates to his house and allowing the vehicles to pull in. As right now, he does to tell them in a text, he'll be out in a minute. Though he does need to have a chat with somebody. And right now, he does go to gesture to her to close the door, walking over and pressing the button under his desk. The door, locking as Momo, does fully turn to him. Is this room secure? Yes. Right now, this room is the most secure place in my house. Of course. I'm sure you understand. I had to identify myself. I do. I met you back at UA. Yes, I believe I remember you. Apologies. Had I known that you were deeply embedded in the family, I may have tried to identify myself to you earlier. But you're also Mr. Yagi's son. Yeah. The situation's more complicated than you understand. I am beginning to get an understanding of that. Does Kami know? Know that I'm a spy? Of course not. Well, she's gonna find out. Deku crossing his arms, expressing. Whenever it does come public that their families have merged, pointing a finger directly at her, she is going to have to figure out exactly how she wants that friendship to go. Kami doesn't have any room to fucking talk. She's a Ryuko, she's a Yaki. Those two things aren't exclusive anymore. Right now, it's going to be a hard conversation. And he's fairly certain there might be some feelings involved. Hard feelings. I'm sure there will be. If I remember correctly, you gave some sort of speech at UA. It was about your family. I'm surprised you remember. Yes, I did. Was that true? Unfortunately, yes. However, my father, he was murdered. I apologize. It's not your fault. There was a situation. Some people weren't happy with it, and I know Ryuko came down hard on them. In fact, I do believe that you've murdered the men who did it. Gonna have to be a lot more specific. They were part of Endeavor's people. I heard it was connected to Gang Orca, but I'm not so certain. It's impossible to tell anymore. That sounds impossible. Again, I thank you. You don't need to do that. Listen, just figure out your stuff with Kami. And if she knows that I know you're a spy, but I never brought it up, it's going to be a whole thing. And I just got her back. I understand. You aren't how everyone describes you. You're more like how she described you before. Really? Yes. You're Otter. Thank you. You're welcome. Her nodding her head in a small bow, and walking back over as Deku, he does gotta press that button. The door clicking open as she has to pull open the door. Right now, finding someone she hasn't seen in a long time. Toru, who does gonna push her into the room and turn, closing the door quickly. And she's a turn looking at Deku, asking, "Okay, so what's the game plan here?" "Oh, hi. Long time no see." "Quite. What are we doing here, Izuku?" "Just be natural." "Are you sure?" "I mean, Miriko's out there, and I think she's mad dogging Kimi." "Is she?" "I asked her about it, and she's just looking in her direction. I don't exactly know. I'm gonna watch her, but I'm expecting her to grill Kimi about something later. Or, hell, maybe she's doing it right now. God damn it." "Fine. Remember this conversation." Her going to nod her head as Deku does turn walking out of his office. Coming out and seeing what's happening. The chef is still getting a lot of different things prepared. Though he has set out some appetizers and some small desserts that everyone can enjoy. And currently Bakugo, he is over by the counter and stuffing a large cookie into his mouth. Kendo trying to tell him to be careful. He still needs to go easy on his body. That stuff might be a little too solid. And he does gonna shake his head no, holding one out to her as it does gonna break away very easily. And Kendo, she does gonna nod at him, turning as Deku does come walking out to see what's happening. And he does a look around the room. Right now, he does go to see Ida, who does come walking over and bring out a hand. Deku shaking it as the man does pull Deku into a bit of a hug, patting him on the back, expressing, "Congratulations are in order." Then again, he's not exactly sure if he could bring him a cigar. "I don't smoke." "I mean, that might be a little too hard on the lungs." "I see. How are they doing? How are you doing? You look a lot better." "Fine, obviously. You know, new hand." "I noticed that. It's hard to miss." "Thanks, Ida." Deku turning, looking at Soji, who does go to nod his head. Deku nodding back. A man of few words. He does look around the room, trying to see what everyone is up to. And he does go to see right now Mirio come walking through the door. Him closing it behind him as Deku, he does gonna turn his head. And Mirio does come in, turning and looking around. Right now, he does go to see Kami. Him blinking at the baby sitting on her lap. And he does turn to Deku, expressing, "It looks like there's quite a lot of things happening." Though, he hopes he's not party crashing. "You're fine. Today's not really about me. Really? I bet that's a weight off your shoulders. Yeah. You have no idea how much I just love going back to being a nobody. I mean, it's a thing. Sounds like it. Uh, him turning back to the outside, expressing. He, did bring a bit of a gift. He wasn't sure if it was appropriate, so it's a little outside, if that makes sense. Him nodding his head and expressing. Though, maybe they can have a small chat. Him nodding his head and going to follow Mario back out front. And when the front door does close, Mario does go to spin. Him taking a bit more seriousness into his voice. Listen, I know that I already got the degree from Mirako. You did? Yes. I'm involved with Mirako, and I'm involved with Kami. It's a thing I have to deal with. I trust Kami, and I'll explain more about that to you if you want me to. But right now, trust me. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure. Nadai expressed his own concerns. He's willing to trust you on this, but you have to understand he's apprehensive about it. This isn't exactly a normal situation. Typically, going after a spy? I mean, she knows. What? She knows my secret. All of it. And she didn't expose you? No. She told me her secret. That's why she ran last year. She didn't think I'd keep it. She knew it was too big. If I kept it, I'd break my oath to the Yagi family, and she didn't want that. Okay? She gave herself a chance to run. Everyone knows she used some sort of spy, someone she knew inside the Yagi family. Right now, that's null and void. The Ryuko family is allied to us. And your suspicions are unwarranted. Deku bring up his left hand. I got an oath from Ryuko herself. Right now, it's being kept under wraps, but they are Yagis. Whatever your concerns are, they don't matter. Are you certain of this? I have the token. I have her oath. Nezu's a third party, or we can ask someone at the masquerade. I'm sure both were informed. Neutral parties, no. I understand. Good. Was that all? Oh, I actually do have a bit of a gift. Him walking over to a car. And Deku does get a good look at the pickup truck. Right now, him going to stare at it. It does look nice. A little older. Huh. Him going to hold up a crate of wine and talk about it. He did bring these over. Though, maybe they need someone responsible to stay sober. I mean, it's a whole thing. Right. But, pick one. What? Oh, I know you're a little paranoid, right? About alcohol? I mean, not that I would try to. Maybe that was a bad thing to say. It's fine. Listen, just bring it in, you dumbass. Mirio nodding his head. Them walking back inside a short little bit after. And people, they already have started to talk. It is a little odd. Right now, everyone, they have started to address the elephant in the room. Kami. And it was a little slow, but she did eventually start talking about it completely. She did leave out a little bit of the parts about Deku and his secret, and him kind of bearing his soul to her, but it does get a few laughs from some people. Deku, he's a sweet guy, from what she has said. And while they did have their rough patches, and he has admitted to fucking some things up, it's not entirely his fault. And she's just hoping to at least try to get some of that back. It's a road to redemption. Her saying that last part with a wince. And she does a turn looking directly at Mirko, expressing to Rumi. She has heard that they're involved. So how has that been going? Everyone stopping what they're doing and turning to look at her. It's been fine. Has it? You know what he's like. Of course I do. Yeah, it's been fine. Are you two gonna gossip? Mina? Sorry. I mean, come on. You two are mad dogging each other. If I am to butt in, Ray going to stand, taking Yuki directly from Kami and talking about it. Kami jumping to her feet, attempting to try and grab back her daughter. Perhaps you two should have a private conversation. And if need be, well, I would not say fight one another, but establish boundaries. Are you certain of that? I'm quite sure, Miss Rumi. In fact, I think it would be the healthiest option. I did have to express some boundaries for some of Endeavor's mistresses. And the lesson didn't stick to some. For others, it stuck. Her going to sit back down. And Fuyumi does stare directly at her mom. Since that, it's the most aggressive she's seen her get in a bit of time. And Mirko does nod her head. The two walking away to have a chat. And Deku, he does want to stop that. Him going to someone's side. Turning and asking Intelli, what's the most likely outcome here? Her glancing up from her cup of tea. That does depend. Are you expecting them to fight? I don't think Kami would want to fight. Then, I'm expecting some aggressive. Given the data. Her sipping her tea. I do believe that things will go fine. If not, they may not wish to be friendly with each other. It isn't my understanding that Miss Kimi, her feelings for you are true. Mirako and you's relationship is undefined, but they hook up. Right now, Deku turning to Kirishima, and he does give Bakugo a bit of a shit-eating grin. Kendo, she does go to glare at Kirishima, as there is where Intelli does nod her head. Then everything should be fine. Mirko does seem to be casual but defensive about her territory. But if what he's saying is true, then it should be okay. She's a straightforward person from what she has seen. Her aggression's been on open display, and if she did want to fight, then they would fight. Though there is still a small percent chance that they might. Her turning her head and waiting for a crash, which never does come. And that, it does help everyone relax. When Mirako does come walking out, she has to make her way for the crate of wine directly on the island in the kitchen, grabbing a container of it and popping it open. And everyone, they do start to have a good time. Some of the guys do make their way over to the pool room, and they are quite happy to start playing some of the games inside. As the girls, they do somewhat talk about a few different things. Some looking outside and seeing Deku's pool. Though they do decide to stay in because of the massive dent in the glass. And just in case anything else might be here, a lot of things are happening. Food has been made, entertainment is all around them, and there is a lot of things they can talk about. But the guys, yeah. Rhino Deku, he does go to break. Him watching as the billiard balls do go to roll across the table and scatter. Right now, the 3-ball going in the corner pocket. And he does go to chalk his stick, expressing. Right. So that means he is solids. Bakugo nodding his head. His turn. So, how do you even manage to do that? Do what? Get a house full of beautiful women? Shut the fuck up, Kirishima. I'm just saying, man. I mean, is that one of your quirks? I can throw you, you know. I know. You gotta shoot. Deku walking over. And I'm gonna start trying to aim for the first ball. Okay. I mean, this shit kind of just happens, you know? It sounds pretty complicated. Mirio going to say. Him drinking his wine from a whiskey glass. And he does express. I mean, a lot of this stuff does kind of happen at some point. He knows he's definitely had quite a few girls chase after him. One girl even liked to call him Peachy. That was a pretty fun thing for a while. Peachy? Well, I mean, my battle suit, it does give me some pretty good assets. Really? That's why I have the cape. I mean, hell. I remember there was this one time I was on assignment with this one girl. You wanna know what she called me after a fucking asshole lit my ass on fire? Hot cross buns. All the guys somewhat laughing. And Deku, he misses his shot. Though the laughter in his chest, it does make him feel a bit better. Right. that sounds complicated. You alright? Yeah. Just it happens sometimes with the lung. Right. So, what are you expecting to have happen? Not really too sure, honestly. There's a lot going on. What about you guys? Any developments? I mean, of what kind? Well, I mean, where's Asui? Where's Toga? Well, they're a little busy at the moment. Toga is learning from Midnight a few different things, and, well, I mean, she wanted to be helpful. She's still your biggest fangirl, and someone just broke into your house. They're supposed to let that guy live. They know that, right? Oh, they plan to let him live. Though, Toga's a little excitable and graphically creative. I'm sure. Yeah, heard you were the same way. He broke into my house. I don't blame that. Listen, man, I can give a shit less what you do in your house. I mean, hell, I don't even want to know what you do in your bedroom. Shut the fuck up. Easy, easy, I'm just saying. It's easier when everyone's laughing. Uh, Bakugo, hmm? You missed. Shut the fuck up. Him backing away from the table. And Deku does shoot him a glare, as he does go for one of his own shots. Right now, Kirishima expressing. There's a lot of shit happening. Though it does seem pretty good. I mean, hell, with everything settled back down a bit more normal, not a lot of them have a lot to do. They do check in on some stuff and go on assignment from time to time, but they're mainly just dealing with the remnants of Endeavor's bullshit. I figured that was the case. How has that been going? It's been potato sometimes, difficult. Though they have been backing down. I mean, I think that Natsuo guy, he's a Todoroki, right? Yeah, he is. I made a deal with him. Yeah, and you kidnapped his sister. Anyways, my bad. Shoji knocking him in the arm. And he does go to glare at the guy, who does the glare right back, expressing, "Don't be an ass. Sorry." That Todoroki guy, you heard him and his girl Burnin? They're doing quite a bit to try and turn the rest of the former Todoroki family. A lot of them are still trying to take up a banner in the name of Endeavor. And they've been successful at forming something else. They're still trying to tie themselves to that Todoroki name, but he doesn't think any boss has officially seen them as a family. I mean, they're trying, but he didn't really leave a lot for them to rule over. They're more like a giant gang across a couple cities. Right. Yeah, I heard they're gonna try and use Old Kyoto as a base. Old Kyoto? Yeah, you know, it's still somewhat standing. I heard they're even trying to rebuild, but they've been aggressive towards us. We've been pushing in, and we did take back Kobo. Shit. Isn't that your hometown? Yeah, it is. And it's also where things kind of changed. Deku leaning against the wall, and they do think they know what Deku's talking about. Bakugo does. He got the power from All Might, and he's standing here today dealing with a lot of bullshit. Though they think he's talking about his father dying and having to come into the limelight. Things weren't exactly easy being the son of the biggest boss in Japan. Hell, that's a whole other story. One Deku can't even tell. That city, if it's rebuilt, if people know him, people connected to Hisashi Midoriya, a lot of them might have died. Most family assets in the city barely kept standing. His fight with the Nomu, yeah. He doubts a lot really is there. Maybe his old home, but that place should be forgotten. I mean, it probably isn't even still standing. Everything tied to his old life is gone. Cities, people, his. No. His mother is. His mother is still part of this life. Dude, huh? You lost. Oh. Ah, shit. You alright? Yeah, I just need to sit down. Maybe just have a drink and clear my head. Fine. Though, maybe take a breather. You don't look so good. Deku nodding to Bakugo, holding out the stick for someone to take. And Mirio, he does take it, talking about how he'll rack him, and Deku does the walk off. Right now, heading to his office. When he does get agitated, he tries to do something. He tries to read a book, maybe paint, maybe sketch. His hands start to shake. But whenever he does hold something in his hand, write something down, or paint, or just draw, they steady. When he does throw punches, his hands steady. As long as he has an outlet, his hands will steady. I mean, as long as it isn't something violent. He isn't doing what he did earlier today. That part of himself can stay down. He's learning a lot about himself still. Maybe he's still got a lot to learn. Him pulling out a sketchbook and beginning to draw in it, going over and over the details again. It does mean quite a bit. Huh. He needs to color this. But how is he going to do that? Buy colored pencils? Buy, well, get someone to craft him specialized pens? A different colored lead? Maybe that can work. That Momo girl has, a creation ability. They can probably actually ask her. Right. That might be the best thing to do. Him going to stand and walk out. And he does go to see some people watching television. And Telly left. The vehicle came to get her. And Rhino Mina does sit there chatting with Fiyumi about a few different things. The two both are sharing a bottle of wine. And Ray, she has gone somewhere, though he doesn't pay attention to that. Right now, he does look around and find Momo standing outside, leaning over the railing, talking with two other people, Kami and Rumi. Good. That looks good. You alright? I'm fine, Toro. You sure? Yeah, I just was hoping to ask Momo for something. You were? Mina jumping up, a little tipsy, making her way over and putting a hand on his chest to steady herself. Hey, I have a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. You sure? I mean, you know, you are hot. Her bring a hand up and poking him in the nose and going to somewhat giggle, talking about it. I mean, look at him. He's muscly. Right now, there is where someone does a jump up. Ibarra coming over Fiyumi as the two they do go to pull her somewhat off of Deku. Her trying to latch on a bit, but Deku, he does go to bring a hand up. Him going to detach her from him and talking about it. Maybe she needs to lie down. What? Come on, Fumi, you were just saying something about it earlier. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. You were saying that her covering Mina's mouth and her face beginning to turn red, telling her, stop talking. Her turning and grabbing a bottle of wine and nearly shoving it into Mina's face. Though, people do start to laugh as Mina does go to grab the bottle and begin to start chugging some more wine down. As Toru does talk about it. Maybe they need to get her a bucket. I don't know. Mina finishing off what remained inside the bottle and going to turn. Right now, Ibarra talking about it. Maybe they should go. I mean, oh, shit. There's guest rooms. You can stay the night. Though, there's too many people here. You might need to share one with her. Kitchen? Bucket. Right. Her going to set Mina down and go to quickly move over. Going to find something. And Deku, he does go to wait. As there is where he does go to turn to Fumi. Him talking about it. Maybe she should go lie down too. It's a good idea. I mean, Mario said that stuff was strong. It is. Good night. Her gonna turn and walk away. As Deku, he does a turn to try and say something to Toru. But he does get interrupted. Right now, Fumi quickly running back over and going to pull him into a hug. Him tensing up as she does it hold on to him. Before she does go to stay there for a second, pulling away and turning to run off. And Deku does just stare at that. Okay, that's a little much. It's a circus around here. Huh. Funny. Actually, him holding up his sketchbook in his left hand, talking about it. He was gonna ask Momo something. Ask me what? Her stepping back in, glancing at the bottle of wine that has been obliterated, and she does a somewhat wince looking at it. Do you need something? Oh, I was gonna ask if you can use your quirk. I don't know if it's a lot, but I just needed some coloring pens. Coloring pens? That should be pretty easy. Though I don't typically make stuff for free. Oh, well, I think you might like to see this. Him opening it up and holding it out. And she does to stare at a sketch of somebody. Toru turning her head and glancing down at a sketch of her. Her tensing up and going to react with all of her invisible features, which Deku doesn't go to see. Though, by the small grin of pride he does go to show, and the sense for Toru's body going rigid, he does go to try and stop himself from chuckling. It looks good. Who is it? That's. It's no one. I'm just sketching something. You know, it's been a little fun. I do need to color her, though, and I don't think I have the right combination. Oh, what do you need? Well, I kinda need a lot. I don't know the best blends, so just a few different colors, maybe? Or maybe a whole palette, actually. Would that be too hard? Oh, no. I might just need a second. Though, um, her turning, walking over and grabbing one of the bottles, talking about it. And this is some of that fancy shit, so one of these things here would be good. Though, if that's alright with the. What is it? The guy, right? Mirio? It should be fun with him. Imagine you're just gonna keep him here. Uh, so how does your quirk work anyway? Well, that depends. Do you want me to do this fast or take a second? Her sitting down on the kitchen island and turning to some of the food that is still there. Her grabbing one of the cookies and beginning to munch on it, holding it out towards Deku. It's gonna be a whole little thing. Suffice it to say, I need food to make stuff. It's not just me whipping it out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I really didn't need to think about that. Get over it. When I hear you bathe in blood, and, well, you're able to do so many things that it'll give everyone nightmares. Deku narrowing his eyes, and she does go to straighten and almost visibly sober. Her staring at Deku, and hold out the cookie like that. See, that actually is scary. You're fine. Just, I was hoping to get them. Sure, it's alright. Consider it payment for taking good care of my friend. Her giving Deku a wink, and he does roll his eyes as she does turn her hand and go to start spitting different colors directly onto the counter. Rhino her turning back and asking about some specifics. I'm gonna stop. Just a little bit of everything, I guess. Hmm. Think of, I don't know, some neons or something that might work. Or lighter colors, maybe. I'll just try and work with what you got. I will try to accomplish that. Her spitting more out. And people, they have started to cool down because of the night. They do get to settle in. Right now, people might not be going anywhere. And others, they already are making plans to leave. Kendo does get to collect some of the idiots and get them in cars. And they do go to head off. Soji didn't have a lot to drink. And he does go drive off of one of the vehicles. Kendo in the other. And Deku, he does go to say goodbye to a lot of his friends. Though, he does still need to figure something out. Making his way back into the residence and going to head to bed. Deku does get to lay down in his room. And he does go to just try and think about how things are going to be going. Kami is just in the next room over. So is his daughter. Mirako does lay next to him, and it's strange. Should he be there? Should he be here? And Mirako just go to glance at Deku and see how he does go to lay there. After a minute, it seemed like he was a little distracted. He was comfy, and she was laying on his arm. Though, she did go to sit up and turn, grabbing him by the nose and informing the idiot, "Just go get him." Jeez. He'll lay here all fucking night if she let him. And he does a sit up. Him leaning forwards and going to kiss her. Before jumping out of bed. And when he does make his way into the room, the two, they already seem to have gone to sleep. Kimi, though, does roll over and groggily somewhat sit up. Her asking if he's okay. Just checking in. Did you want to move her to the other room? We don't want to get in your way. It's fine. You sure? Yeah. Your bed's comfier anyways. Her giving a smile. And she does hop up out of bed. Right now, them moving everything over to the next room. And Kami, she does go to glance at Mirako and give her a smile and a nod. Mirako nodding back as Deku, he does help move Yuki into the next room. Her still quietly snoozing away. And he does lay back down. Kami falls asleep instantly. Deku, he does just lay there. And feel himself begin to relax a bit more. Mirako does move in. And sleep does find him quickly. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.